Hey guys, what's going on? So today we are talking about gold farming. It's very important, mainly for making your units stronger, ascending them, evolving them, and also upgrading gems. It can all get very expensive, so knowing the best ways to farm gold will help you out very much. So first of all, let's go ahead and talk about the Golem dungeon. This is sort of the go-to place for gold, but in my opinion, it's not really worth it until you can start farming B7. The main reason is because you will basically only get gold. You can also get some good gems which you can equip on your Astromons, so that's definitely a bonus, but mostly it's going to be gold, because if you keep the gem, then it's not going to get you gold, you know, so it's either one or the other. With something like story mode, once you can start farming the extreme maps, which if you can do B7, you probably can, comes with a lot of perks as well. If you have anyone to raise, which most people do, this is where you'll get the most experience in any story map, mostly on the EXP bonus, of course. But along with that, you also get some gold at the end of the stage, as well as a gem. On extreme mode, this can be a 3 or a 4-star gem, which can get you anywhere from like 3k all the way up to around 7k or something. It cuts off maybe a little bit before that, but that's like the general numbers. So a lot comes down to luck, of course, if you're going to get mostly good gems, 4 stars with 2 substats, or if you're going to get crap gems, 3 stars, no substats. That's where the majority of your gold will be coming from, is selling gems. If we look at some of my gems here, here's a 6-star with 4 substats. I'm not sure if it had 4 when I first got it, but it has 4 now because of upgrading, and we can sell that for 22.5k. I think if it had 4 natural substats, it actually sells for more than ones you get by upgrading it, but regardless, you can sell it for a lot of gold. And then if we take a look at like a 3-star, 1 substat, whatever, it's only 3,600. And without a substat, it's going to be 2,400. So this is basically the least amount you're going to get from a story mode gem. Some story mode gems can have 2 substats though, and be 4 stars, so the most you can get is around 7,000, maybe up to this number here, 7,300. This is a special gem one you don't find in story mode, but I'm pretty sure there won't be a huge difference. So yeah, around 7,000. But with Golem B4 through B6, you can potentially get 5 stars with up to 4 substats. That's like the best you can get. I actually don't have any to show you here. Here would be 1, but some may be included on there, so it's probably around 20k or so for those, maybe a little bit higher or lower. The thing is, when you're farming B4 to B6, these are very hard to come by. Since you can get 3 to 5-star gems, you'll mostly be getting 3 and 4-star gems. But from a purely gold standpoint, the Golem dungeon is the way to go. We're gonna run once through B6 and see how much gold we actually get at the end screen, because all battles have a bit of gold you get at the end screen. I'm not totally sure. We're gonna check that out. Alright, we've made it to the boss. This honestly shouldn't take more than 1 or 2 turns. Alright, so the boss is down. Let's go ahead and check out what we got. Only 675 gold, so this is almost not countable. It's very low amount, and then a 3-star gem with 3 substats. You can see that sells for around 6,000. Now granted, this is on the lower end of what you can get from B4 to 6, but regardless, you will see a lot of gems like this, because of course you know how RNG goes. They're going to want to give you the lower ones, the weaker ones, and make the better ones and the more expensive ones, and the ones you can sell for more, much more rare. That's just how it is. Regardless, we don't need this, so at 6,000 gold, sure, why not? And now if we play on an extreme map, let's go ahead and go to the gold bonus, although I'm not too sure. There's a very small difference between this gold bonus and then the EXP bonus, because naturally the harder levels will give you more gold, so if you have any units to raise, you may as well be going for the EXP bonus stage. We're just going here to really see what the max you can get, because it is a bit more than the EXP stage. Another thing is, there is a lot of value to gain from doing story maps over Golem maps, especially now with the Jack event going on. You could find a Jack, and besides that, you can always find 2-star variants to do this gem trick thing I was discussing in my last video, and I showed that. You can find normal 3-star monsters, and if you're really lucky, you can find a legendary. So ultimately, if you really just care about gold, go ahead and do the B4 to 6. I think you will get a bit more that way, but personally, I do most of my gold farming in story mode. Even though I can do B7 to 9 of Golem, they take quite a long time, or I have to pay attention, so I can't really auto it. So we got 1,800, damn it, I put it on auto X20. I'll have to put up some caption or something, but yeah, like I was saying, there's a lot of value in going for story mode because of the fact you can get 3 stars and 2-star variants, and the 3 stars, if you're not interested in rebirthing, you can release. A couple of the 3 stars I've released have given me 100,000 gold, so it's rare, but it's something. Okay, this time we got 2,100 gold, so of course there can be a big difference there as well. and we got a 3-star gym. This is a very basic gym, so we're only going to get approximately 4,500 gold from this entire run. So this is definitely on one of the lowest ends it can be. 3-star, no substats. But I also got experience for my pebble and had a chance to run into some capturable monsters there. But yeah, once you can start farming B7 through 9 easily, then you'll definitely find more value there when it comes to gold and also potential gyms. 6-star gyms, you can't get those anywhere else. Except the Dragon Dungeon, but that's actually harder than the Golem Dungeon for the most part, so... Or, of course, if you don't want to pay attention to your game, that's also another thing. You won't have any interruptions in the Golem Dungeon, whereas you may have interruptions in a story map, because if you run into any rare monsters, or if you find one of these Guardian Dungeons, for example, your game stops. So, Golem Dungeon in that case would always be better. What the actual hell. But yeah, besides that, you can get 32,000 every day just by completing your daily quests, which is a nice chunk of change actually when you can do it daily, and these are all very easy to do, so you have no real excuse not to do them. Also, there are tons of various challenges that you can get gold from. Usually these are sort of overtime things. There aren't many you can really just actively go for, you know, like, okay, I want this amount of gold now. And you can also get a bit of extra gold from capturing certain units. Like, this is an easy, quick way to farm like that extra needed gold. Like, for example, 3 water gups, that's easy. These 4 quests here can be done in maybe 15 minutes, and then you have 40,000 gold here. Also, sending and receiving gold to friends can get you about 10,000 every day as well. But yeah, the main topic is kind of Golem versus story and where you should be farming it. So that really comes down to your specific situation and also preference. Like me personally, when I'm in a place where I can check my game every so often, I usually prefer story mode because I almost always have someone to raise. Now it's my pebble, I just got to 6-star. So story mode provides much more than just gold for me. I can raise my pebble, which I can't really do in Golem, not only because it gives almost no experience, but also because you kind of need really upgraded units and strong units to effectively do the Golem dungeon. And so, of course, from a purely gold standpoint, if you just want gold, literally nothing else but gold, you'll need to definitely stick to Golem Dungeon. Even B4 through B6 should get you more gold than most of the extreme maps, probably all of the extreme maps, but then you would be selling the gems. So kind of have to think about it in another way also. If you're going to be keeping the strongest gems you find, which probably most people are, because who doesn't want the strongest gems, you know, then of course that's going to cut your profits a lot. Naturally, the strongest gems are going to sell for the most. But you know, in story map, most of them aren't going to be all that great or keep worthy instead of selling them, you know, because most of your units at this point will probably have better or equivalent to story quality gems, so you can mostly sell off the rest. That's another kind of perspective to look at it versus Golem and story. Of course, once you can start farming B7 through 9, that's definitely where the gold is at, because you'll be getting minimum 4-star gems with minimum 2 substats. I believe that's how it is. You cannot get under 2 substats in the Golem place. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong there, but I don't think I've ever seen a gem from the Golem place come with less than 2 substats. And the reason why I'm mentioning substats so much is because this is a huge factor in how much the gem is going to sell for. We can take another look at that. So we're just going to look at some base gems here. Let's try and find one with 2 substats. Okay, well, since I have no gems with 0 substats, we're going to look at what the difference between a 4-star gem with 1 substat and a 4-star gem with 3 substats. So this one sells for 8,750, this one sells for 5,250, and it seems like the special gems you get from the Golem place sell for a bit more. This is 7,300, this is 9,100, versus this guy with 8,700, so it's not that much, but it's still something. You also have to take into consideration energy cost. B4 through 6 cost 6 energy, whereas all extreme maps, besides the boss ones, which you won't be running anyway, cost 5 energy. So you could use 6 story maps for the same cost as 5 B4 through 6 golems, and only a little over 4 B7 through B9 runs. Earlier on in the game, you won't have much choice but to just sell any unused gems you get from story mode, because that's what you're going to be doing most of the time. The B4 Golem dungeon is fairly easy, and it's when you can start getting 3 to 5-star gems. So when you can beat B4 when you're at that stage in the game, this will be a huge boost to your gold, because when you're at the stage where you can just beat B4, you're not going to be playing much extreme maps in my opinion yet. So yeah, like I said earlier on in the video, it really depends on your situation, what you can do. Also, of course, I wasn't even really planning on mentioning it because it's so obvious, but the gold dungeon, definitely don't forget to do the gold dungeon. I have forgotten a few times, but it's very good value for the energy here. But yeah, so tell me what you guys think. Is there something really important I missed? These were mostly off the top of my head, sort of analyzing and comparing one to the other. So it's definitely easy to leave things out in situations like that, but I think I basically covered the most important bits, hopefully. But yeah, if you have another technique to farm gold, make sure to drop it down in the comments below. I'm sure everyone else would love to know about it. Drop a like if you did enjoy. Thanks as always for watching, and until next time, it's just the bait, so 10%. So I'm gonna do him first because it's the weakest one. We're gonna go ahead and awaken him, okay? Alright, he's now awoken. We're going to exit again, go to the quest, get the gems. 60 more gems, alright. We are back to our bat now, and now we have to check around a little bit. This is 10 plus 12. It might be the best we have.